We're gonna go ahead and get the next guest up here. We got the Joe loading in. We got the we got the Joe loading in. Everyone, just go ahead and give us a minute. What is going on, the Joe? Did you vote for Trump?
What's up, man? Yeah, I did.
Okay, how do you?
18, May of
18.
2006.
Phenomenal. So why'd you do it? Why'd you vote for Trump?
Okay, can I just ask a quick question real quick?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Why do you call Trump a fascist?
What? Well, I can call Trump fascist because I believe that he would meet like a lot of the pillars of fascism. We
Okay,
could go through it if you'd
what?
like.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
I'm
can I
not. I'm
just
not
say
gonna lie. I
why?
don't have the pillars of fascism memorized, so I'm gonna have to look them up.
Okay, do you mind if I just give my concern to that?
Give your concern to that. I
Like,
mean, sure, but
like why
preferably
you
like you to
call it?
tell us why you voted for Donald Trump.
Well, okay, I want to focus on the fascism thing real quick. So historically, Benito Mussolini was considered a socialist, right? And his ideologies were very similar to Hitler, who was a fascist. I don't know if I could say that on your live, but you know. So that's just kind of my thing about fascism is like I wouldn't call Trump a fascist or anybody on the Republican Party.
I do. I think it's okay to call him a fascist. The reason why I say that is, I mean, so I'm on Google right now. You just got to type in the 14 defining characteristics of fascism. And I believe that Donald Trump aligns with a significant a portion of these to qualify him as a fascist in my mind. And we could kind of go through them. Like the first pillar is powerful and continuing nationalism. I mean, he kind of creates his own version of nationalism, saying that we need to have great patriotism in our country, put God back in schools, and we need to impose tariffs on all of our allies and distance ourselves from everyone else in the world so we could focus on America and kind of do his own thing with it. The second one is a disdain for human rights. I mean, I think that him opting to overturn Roe v. Wade, rescinding that back down to the state, which has led to 66 million American women and girls not having access to abortion, is a violation and which impedes upon their human rights, as well as there's other miscellaneous concerns that are associated there. And then his third point here is something that I find very resemblant in him. It's the identification of enemies as his unifying cause. He used the enemies, quote unquote, of migrants and undocumented migrants, lying on them, saying that they're eating pets and dogs, saying that they're coming here to grape your wife, kidnap your children, and their MS-13 gang member P3DOs to kind of unite prejudiced white Americans around that hate, around that difference. And then on top of that, dehumanizing them by calling them things such as aliens to get them to support him while doing nothing to fix the
Mhm.
issue that's causing undocumented migration into America in the long term. The fourth point is, of course, supremacy of the military. I mean, he said that he might use our military to invade and annex Greenland, and he says that he wants to fund it even more and more and more and more. The fifth is rampant sexism. He emboldens grape culture. He graped Each and Carroll. The sixth is controlled mass media. I know that he does want to control the media. He does not respect first constitutional rights. He called CNN and MSNBC illegal, which was a complete disdain for the rights of the companies. The seventh is obsession with national security. Think about the border wall. Think about all of the policy that he has proposed or at least talked about to keep our country secure from the foreign invaders. A really good example of this would be the reinstitution of the Enemies Act from the 18th century, where you could deport individuals without due process under the association that they're invaders from another country. And I mean, like, those are just like the first eight. I could go through the last couple points, but I mean, I feel like this is a natural break
Okay,
point
yeah,
where I
okay,
could kind of
yeah.
shoot the mic back to you and tell you why you voted for Donald Trump over Kamala Harris.
Okay, well, I mean, so one thing was abortion. I honestly didn't really like the fact that he decided to um, to just leave it up to the states because it's kind of it doesn't really work then. It's like, if it's kind of pointless. You may as well just say abortion should be legal in the U.S. because most people are probably just gonna drive out of their state and just get an abortion somewhere else. You know, a lot of people who live in like the northern states, like in New York, will probably just like if it would, let's just say New York was a Republican state
Okay.
and abortion was banned there, they
So
probably
you're
just
so
either
you're
drive to
condemning
Canada
you're
or.
condemning him for the action. So what made him the better candidate?
Honestly, I didn't really like I like his stance on immigration, and I really liked that he was gonna finally take a finally do something about it because there was a lot of illegals that came over the border under Biden and Harris's presidency.
Are you saying that you agree with his plan of mass deportation?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah. Why is it better to deport an undocumented migrant compared to offering them a pathway to residency or citizenship in our country?
Okay, well, first of all, they broke the law by breaking into the country illegally. Okay, and second off, I first off, like
Wait, is that your
it's
only reason? It's like they entered
no, no, no,
into
I
the
was
country and
actually going to
document
continue.
with the use of undocumented means. Therefore, they deserve to be deported, even though that places America last, as it hurts our economy, it hurts average qualities of life, so it reduces the size of our labor force,
Okay,
meaning
I was
that
actually
we
going to
can't
finish
industrialize
because
America
you
as fast
interrupted
as
me,
we could.
but
Otherwise, it
you
slows
can go on.
GDP growth, and there's humanitarian concerns of the migrants. Like, is that it?
Can I just finish real quick?
Yeah, my bad.
Okay. I was in the middle of something. It's all right. But like, okay, the thing is, I don't really have much of a problem with like illegals, like immigrants coming to our country. But I feel like the reason why we have an immigration process is not because of these people who like are coming to the country and working and supporting their family, right? Like I have no problem with that. But the thing is, we need to enforce.
Oh,
We need to
you're not
enforce.
answering my question.
But I was trying to finish the first thing I was saying before you interrupted me.
I didn't interrupt you. No, I asked you to name one reason why mass deportation is better than offering a non-documented migrant a pathway to residency or citizenship. What's the
Okay,
answer to that question?
okay. Because they broke the law, and I believe
They broke the law.
they should have tried to come in through the legal process, right? I
They
will admit
broke
our
the
legal
law.
process is quite
Oh,
slow.
okay. We could talk about that later. I just want to know the reasons. So, one reason why you think that mass deportation makes more sense than mass amnesties because undocumented migrants broke the law. Do you have any other reasons?
Okay, well, yes. Okay, this is gonna take like at least like just a minute. So do you mind just let me speak here for just a minute? Okay,
For
please
sure.
don't
I
jump.
just want to know like all of the
No, you're good,
reasons why
man.
you think that mass deportation is better for America than offering undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship. So far, you've given me one reason, saying that the undocumented migrants broke a law by entering with use of illegal means. Give me all the other reasons.
Okay, so this is kind of like a big reason. It's not that I have a problem with the people who are trying to come here, work, and support their family. I have a problem with the people who are coming who are criminals, and it's not a lot of them. Like, let's just be real, it's not. But the thing is, if we don't enforce that law for everybody, then it becomes a mess, and where it's like other illegals who are coming here that are, let's just say, bad apples are gonna just be flowing into our country. And even though it's a small amount, that's still not good. So I believe we should enforce it for every illegal that comes into our country so that those bad apples don't leak in.
Okay. So far you've given me two reasons. The first reason you said that mass deportation is better than mass amnesty is because they broke the law. And the second reason you said is basically hinting at if we were to offer all undocumented migrants in our country mass amnesty, well then we've had more undocumented migrants come into our country that have done like violent things. So do you have any
Yeah.
other reasons?
Um no, I think that's about it.
Okay. So I'm going to start with your second concern and then we're kind of front to back. So, with your second concern, I think it's false. I think it's the opposite way around. I think if we were to offer all undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship while not allowing undocumented migrants that have committed violent crimes that same pathway, that we would be screening the undocumented migrants that are already in America for past violent
Listen,
offenses. And I think that's really like the only screening process that we should have for immigration into America. And I think that this should also be applied to all new legal migrants. The reason that we have any migrants entering into America with use of illegal means today is because of how bad the legal means of entry into our country are, how long they take, and how much they cost. So if
yeah.
we were to completely reinvent the wheel and offer not only the non-violent and documented migrants in America a pathway to residency or citizenship with simple screening for prior violent offenses, but also do that same process for all the new migrants that want to come into America, well, then all of a sudden undocumented migration plummets and we have less bad actors in our country. So I'd actually argue that the second point you brought up is a reason why we should do mass amnesty and a new, quicker, fast legal process of migration for all, as it would reduce the amount of violent offenders in America. So now, to respond to responsibility for the most part on our government for absolutely neglecting the legal processes of migration into America for
Uh-huh.
all of modern American history. And I believe that that is the burden of our government to fix. And I don't think that you merely saying, well, they broke the law trumps the concerns of reducing violent offenders in our country, trumps the concerns of expedited GDP growth, 100 billion additional dollars in revenue per year for our government, which is what undocumented migrants pay in taxes, or the increased size of our labor force that helps reindustrialize our country. We're supposed to enforce laws to make America greater for everybody in it. Okay. And we typically get rid of laws that do the opposite of that. Okay. And mass deportation is one of those things that does the opposite of that. It hurts our country. It places it last and it places everybody in it last for the concerns that I just listed.
Okay, well, Okay, well, here's the thing. Is like, well, first of all, we already had a ton of illegals come over the border, right? Like, let's just be real. That was a problem.
What does this respond to in the argument I gave you?
I kind of have a Gen Z attention span. I kind of already forgot, but
Okay,
uh,
I could repeat it
yeah,
in like two sentences.
yeah, because
A new, quick, fast, expedited pathway to residency or citizenship reduces the amount of violent offenders in America, and it's significantly better for America's economy and everybody in the American economy. So I don't think that we should enforce mass deportation, as it hurts America's economy. It cripples our labor force, as well as the industrialization of our manufacturing sect, while also foregoing a lot of GDP growth and additional government revenue brought in by taxes paid by undocumented immigrants.
okay. First thing I want to say that I definitely agree with you with is our immigration process should be way easier, right? Like in some cases, I think it can take like years to do, right? Um, but I think something I'm gonna have to disagree with you with is like, first of all, under the Biden-Harris administration, a lot of illegals already came in, so I think we have to settle that first, right? And then,
Well, I'm so sorry. What point of my argument are you responding to? I kind of feel like you're just saying words.
well, okay, well, hang on, did illegals not come over the border during Biden
Okay,
Harris's
let's
administration?
call
So aren't they
undocumented migrants
technically
undocumented
criminals?
migrants. I'm so sorry. What argument is this responding to and debunking? What position did I give you that this is responding to?
When you said we should rather have mass amnesty than mass deportation.
Okay, and you mentioning that a lot of undocumented migrants have come into our country in the last 4 years responds to my argument. How?
Okay, well, okay, they came over the border illegally.
Okay, yeah, and I've
Or
already responded to that point. So now you're just restating your argument.
just can I finish real quick?
Of
Okay.
course.
Um, okay, I think since they came over the border illegally, I'm gonna have to disagree and say, well, since they broke the law and since we shouldn't have tolerance
So
for that, I think
wait, we shouldn't have tolerance for people that break the law.
yes,
You made
if
a
they are
felon
not
president.
American citizen, they
You
should
made a
be
felon
deported.
president.
Okay, well, if you think that he's a felon, then why isn't he in jail right now?
Wait. Are you saying that he's not a felon?
Well, then why isn't he in jail?
Okay, how much money do you want to bet that he's a felon?
Well, what is a felon? Describe me the definition.
Somebody convicted of a felony in a criminal court.
Okay, he was convicted, right? But he's not in jail right now. So
Okay, who? I
he
didn't
was
say
charged with a
I didn't
crime,
say he's in jail. I said he's a felon.
but he was charged with a crime,
So
but
he's
he's
charged
not
with a
in
crime
jail.
and he was found guilty. He was
So he's not a
convicted.
criminal.
He is. Yes, he is a criminal. Yes.
Criminals go to jail, though.
Wait. Are you saying that all criminals go to jail?
Most do. Yes.
Okay, so every crime in America is punishable by jail time necessarily? See what
Yes.
I mean? No. Wait, dude, I'm so sorry, man. If you're gonna argue that he's not a felon because he's not in jail, well, like,
No,
listen
I'm
to
saying
this,
he's
man.
not. I'm
He is
saying,
a felon. He was convicted of 34 felonies, but he wasn't sentenced with any jail time.
well, he's not. I said criminal, and you said felon. So he's
Wait,
not a
felons
criminal.
are criminals.
No, but criminals go to jail. So
Define
no, felons
criminal.
are not criminals.
Define criminal.
Somebody who broke the law and is in jail.
Okay, so all criminals are in jail.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think you know what a criminal is because I think that a criminal is somebody that's found guilty of a crime.
Okay. How about?
Why-
Okay, well, if he's found guilty,
did you
then
think
why
that
is he
all
in jail?
sentences for crimes would necessarily include jail time?
Okay, well, no, hang on. Yes, if he's a criminal,
Well, that's wrong. You have a very wrong belief about how the criminal justice system in America functions. Not all crimes or like felonies in America would carry a minimum sentence that requires jail time.
okay, well, if he's a criminal, why? Is
Wait. Can you agree to that? That not all crimes require a minimum sentence that includes jail time?
repeat that again? I'm sorry.
That not all crimes carry a minimum sentence that requires any time in jail. Maya, think of the galaxy.
No,
You can't agree with that?
I'm sorry.
So then
you
I think
lost
you
me.
need to get an education.
All right. I mean,
So once again, my question is, do all crimes carry a minimum sentence that requires time in jail?
no.
Precisely. Not all crimes require a minimum sentence that requires time in jail.
But he
The
wasn't. There's a
34
big. Okay,
felony
but rape is
convictions,
a
shut
big.
up. The 34 felony convictions that Donald Trump was convicted of did not carry a minimum sentence that included time in jail. So when you tell me that he's not a criminal or he's not a felon because he didn't go to jail, but then you agree that not all crimes carry a minimum sentence of jail time, you look like you're a little silly. So can you just admit to the silliness so we could set it aside and move on? Go ahead and say, Dean, I'm so sorry for being silly. Unmute. I sent you an invite to unmute.
Oh, my bad. I was on mute.
So Joe, say it with me. Dean, I'm sorry for being silly.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing.
Do I need to explain your silliness to you again? I'm going to go ahead and explain your silliness to you again
I-
because you
okay, I
said
admit-
he's
okay,
not a
I
criminal
admit
or he's
I
not a
was-
felon. One moment. I'm going to.
I admit I
No.
was wrong.
I'm going to go and explain your silliness to you again because you said he's not a criminal. He's not a felon because he hasn't spent any time in jail. Okay. Well, not all crimes, not all felonies require jail time.
Okay, I admit I was in the wrong.
Okay. Thank you for conceding your silliness. What's next?
Okay, I mean, so what is your stance on abortion right now?
That every single woman and girl in America should have elective lethal access to abortion for the first 20 weeks of pregnancy, and every rape victim or woman who's pregnant that can lead to her death through medical complications should have access to lethal abortion at any point in their pregnancy.
Okay, so, all right, let me ask this: are you a Christian?
Am I Christian? No, I'm not a Christian.
Okay, guess what percentage of the country is Christian?
I'm actually pretty sure it's not a majority anymore. But
It's
a lot of
actually
people.
67%.
You know what? I think you're right. I think you're right. I think I thought it was a minority now, and then I think I Googled it, and it told me that same stat. I remember that 67% number. Okay,
So
67% of people in America are Christian.
Okay, so 60% of the people in America are Christian.
Yeah.
Right. So I think the majority would agree with me that life begins at conception.
Well,
'Cause
I'm not a
there's-
Christian, and I agree with you.
You think life begins at conception?
Yes.
So you think that woman should be able to abort, let's just say a fetus at like a week in, or 6 weeks in.
Yes,
But that's after conception.
it is.
And you said life begins at conception.
Yes. So they're killing it.
So they're killing life.
Yes.
Okay, so would you say that killing life is murder?
No.
No.
I define murder as the unjust killing or
I
termination.
remember that from Jubilee, bro. I
You,
remember
wait,
that.
you don't think ending life is murder either.
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
You don't think ending life is murder.
Ending? What?
You don't think killing life is murder.
I think killing life is murder.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
When's the last time you ate a hamburger? You hypocrite.
Yo, bro, you want to go into veganism now?
You're the one that said ending life is murder. Yeah, I didn't say that. Why are you blaming me for the words that are coming out of your mouth?
Okay, how about this? I'll rephrase ending human life.
You don't think that either.
Yes, I do.
Is self-defense murder?
Yeah, it is. Well, no, not really.
No. Another point. When a doctor pulls a plug on a brain dead patient in a hospital, are they a murderer?
No.
No. So you don't even think that the definition of murder is killing human life.
Okay, but as Charlie Kirk said, and I'll quote from Jubilee. Okay, yo, don't make fun of Charlie Kirk, bro. That's offensive.
Sorry. Go ahead.
It's all right. I'll let it slide this time. All right, but no, but the brain waves in that. Let's just say there's an elderly person dying at the hospital, and they have very small brain waves, right? Like not like and there's not a chance that those brain waves are going to go up. In the womb, there's a chance that there's a 100% chance that those brain waves are going to go up in the fetus.
You know what? I'm going to go and start my live on YouTube. I think that you're trying to make a point here, and honestly, Chad, I wanna allow you an opportunity to make the point, but this conversation is just too damn good that I think this needs to go on YouTube about right the hell now. So if you would just give me a minute to start that YouTube stream, that would be great, quite frankly. For everybody tuning in on YouTube, welcome in. It's good to have you in here with me today. We're already starting our debates for the day with 100 Trump supporters. We have our first Trump supporter up on the line. His name is Joe. Me and Joe have already had a little bit of a conversation about abortion, and Joe's giving me an argument right now insofar as why I should be pro-life. So, Joe, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic back to you. Kind of just, reiterate how we got here and give me your position why I should be pro-life. Let's hear it, Joe.
Okay, well, I believe so. I assume most of the country's Christian, right?
Okay.
I'll rephrase. Okay, and I believe that God says that life begins at conception.
Okay. Well, no, that's not a Christian view. That's a scientific view. So life begins at conception. That's a fact.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So then, aren't you killing life?
Yes. When you get an abortion, when you get a lethal elective abortion, you're killing life.
Okay, so why is that a good thing?
Okay. Well, I never said abortion's a good thing. All that I'm saying is that abortion's not wrong. I find it to be morally permissible.
Okay, well, actually, so do you mind if I quote a verse from the Bible?
I don't know what the Bible's going to do for you here. Is this verse that you're going to quote from the Bible just say abortion is wrong?
No, actually, I have a question. If I go to because I'm doing this on my phone, if I go to another app, will it exit?
You'll stay in the live. I just won't be able to hear you until you come back on this app. But just describe the Bible verse to me. You don't even need to quote it. Just tell me what it says.
I'll go get my laptop. You mind if I take like 30 seconds?
I mean, sure, but like, what verse do you want to quote to us? Like, what is it about?
Okay, here, I can say it. Here, let me just give me 30 seconds.
Okay, sounds good. For everybody tuning in on TikTok, for the 6.7 thousand people in here, welcome, and it's so good to see you all. I would just like to reiterate this. We are getting a bunch of bans on TikTok. The YouTube stream never gets taken down, though, so if this live randomly ends, all you got to do is go to the link tree in my bio, click on YouTube, go to the live section, and you'll see me on live on YouTube. It gets banned so much, but of course, the YouTube stream never goes down. So while he's looking for his Bible verse, we're going to go ahead and thank 3 donors. First and foremost, for the first donation of the day, Miss Jasmine with a $20 donation over on Venmo. Jasmine says, "Love you, Dean. Hope all is well. Don't forget to take some self-care days. You deserve it." Thank you for the love, Jasmine. Honestly, I take self-care nights after my stream. When I'm really feeling it, I just make myself a nice steak. Thank you for the love, Jasmine. I'll put that towards the steak fund. Then Dean with $1 on Venmo, calling me a soy boy. Thank you for your money. I'm going to donate that to Planned Parenthood. Phenomenal. Awesome. All right. Well, we're waiting on that Bible verse. Joe, did you get it for me?
Yeah, by the way, my name's not Joe. I just thought that was a fun name to put on TikTok. Okay, so in Jeremiah 1:5, it says, "I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nations." So, okay, let me ask you this. If he says he knew you before you were made in the womb, why is it once you are beginning to be made in the womb that it's not life?
Okay, this is so interesting. So you're trying to give me an argument rooted in the Christian Bible that life begins at conception. I think I could be completely misinterpreting your argument.
Yes.
Is that the argument that you're giving me? So then you're asking me why it's not life?
I'm asking you why it is not a life. Yes.
So I told you that I think that life begins at the moment of conception. So the right answer would be it is a life. But I don't think it's a life because of anything that the Christian Bible says. I think it's alive at the moment of conception. Do I need to say that for a third time? See, thank you for the galaxy over on TikTok.
Okay, well, life begins as conception, right?
Yes, life begins at the moment of conception. Now, where do we go from here?
Okay, so then why is it okay to abort life?
Because it's not always wrong to end it. It's not always wrong to end life. Do you think it is?
Well, in self-defense, as you mentioned, yeah, that's okay.
But if unless you're defending yourself, it's wrong to kill a life?
Yes, but how are you defending yourself?
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What's your favorite fast food restaurant?
I don't. Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. So the last time you went to Chick-fil-A, did you have to like defend yourself from a chicken that was trying to kill you before it was okay to kill it, chop it up, put it on the grill to serve to you in a little cardboard box with
Okay,
a
well, a
side
chicken
of
is different
Chick-fil-A
than a
sauce
human.
and ketchup?
Okay, well, can we agree that a chicken is different than a human?
We can agree. Absolutely. We can absolutely agree
So then how
that
do
it,
you?
well,
So
no,
then
one
how are
moment.
you
Let me
gonna
finish
relate
speaking.
a
You're not going to
chicken
cut
to a
me off.
human's life?
You're not going to cut me off, Joe. You do that again, I'm going to put you on mute. Can you just wait for me to finish speaking?
My bad.
We absolutely can agree that the life of a chicken is very, very different than the life of a human. Okay? And I'm not a vegan, so I don't think that the value in the life of a chicken can be equivocated to that in the life of a human. But the reason why I brought up a chicken in this circumstance was because you told me that killing life is always wrong outside of self-defense.
Killing
That is a
human.
principled stance
Okay, then let me
that would
let me
apply
think.
to chickens. In fact, the chickens you eat at, I don't know, Chick-fil-A.
Okay, well, can I rephrase? Killing all human life, unless in self-defense, is wrong.
You don't think that either.
Why?
Do you think that there is a state-funded and chartered genocide that is being committed at the hand of serial killer medical professionals in your local hospital and all other hospitals on the face of this planet right now?
So you're saying, okay, can you rephrase that a little bit? Or can you say that again?
I'll find another way to present the information to you. Are doctors serial killers, since it's quite typical for medical professionals working in hospitals to pull the plug on brain-dead patients, killing them?
No, because if they left them there, they would eventually die.
If
If
you
they did
left
not
me
pull
in
the
this
plug.
chair, would I eventually die?
No, I'm talking about the person on their deathbed. Yes, they would eventually die if you did not pull the
I
plug.
have a question. Does the fetus eventually die?
No, because it's
No,
the
so
fetus is
fetuses are
gonna,
immortal?
no, because the fetus is going. Yo, bro, the fetus is eventually going to turn into a human.
Wait,
No, they're
you're the
eventually
one
going.
that told me. Okay, well, now we have other issues. Because you told me that abortion's wrong because it's always wrong to kill human life outside of self defense. But then you just told me that the fetus is going to be a human in the future. So it's not a
Well,
human
okay,
right
no,
now.
what I meant
So
is
then
they're
it's
gonna
not
be
wrong to kill the fetus.
what I meant is it's going to be a full-grown human.
A full grown human in the future. What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, eventually it's going to be a baby. It's going to be able to survive outside of its mother's womb.
It's going to be able to survive outside of the mother's womb. So you're telling me that the difference between the brain dead patient and the fetus is that the brain dead patient is going to be dependent for its existence for the rest of its existence on that life support, but the fetus won't.
Yeah, it won't be dependent for like
Okay.
the rest of it.
So now you're telling me that murder isn't like the killing of innocent human life, but it's rather something else that has to do with your future abilities.
Well,
So
yeah, I
define
guess.
murder. Because even though a brain dead patient will be dependent on life support for the rest of its survival, when a doctor pulls the plug, they are still killing a human outside of self-defense, which would still fit under your definition of murder. Okay, but you're telling me that it's not murder because of some other random concern about the sustainability of their life when not being supplied said life-saving means of life support. So redefine murder in a way that makes sense.
Okay, okay. Okay, I'll say what you said at Jubilee, the unjustified murder of of a a human.
Boom! There we go. We're cooking with oil. Avocado oil with the highest smoke point. The reason I don't think that it's unjustified to terminate the life of a fetus living inside of a woman's uterus is because it doesn't have the ability to deploy any level of consciousness or sentience or subjective experiences whatsoever until around 20 through 24 weeks. And for that reason, I don't attribute it any value.
Okay, so but you said you would agree that life begins at conception.
It is. It does. It's a life that I don't value.
It's a life that you don't value.
Correct. I don't think
Okay.
that the life of a fetus has any level of intrinsic value.
Okay, so you're not a Christian, right?
I'm not a Christian.
Okay, but put yourself in. Okay, I'm gonna
That's a
ask
bad
you,
idea.
put yourself into the mind of a Christian for a second.
Okay. If I was a Christian, I'd still think that abortion should be legal. Could I tell you why?
Okay, why?
Do you agree with the New Testament when it says all sins are equal in the eyes of God outside of blasphemy?
Yes.
Should it be illegal to lie to your children telling them that Santa Claus exists?
No, but that's like a reasonable lie.
So then why should it be illegal to get an abortion? Because
Oh,
remember,
well,
you just
okay.
agreed that those two sins are equally as wrong in the eyes of God.
All right. I think you've won this debate, Dean. You're definitely smarter than me. I'm gonna head out.
Before you head out, okay? Because although it feels good to win a debate, I want some type of resolution here. Could I offer you the resolution?
Okay.
The resolution to this is not that you should be atheist and reject all the Christian values that you've come to learn since your upbringing. Okay? The resolution is rather that Christianity offers no coherent basis to run a criminal justice system in the slightest. You cannot run legislation based upon your Christian beliefs because of the issue that I just pointed out. So instead, you should continue to be a Christian, value what you value, but conceive of secular standards independent from Christianity to justify why things should be legal or illegal. And this is why you could be pro choice as a Christian. I'm not denying that it's a Christian view to say that abortion's wrong. I'm just merely stating that you could be a Christian, acknowledge that that's a decision you, Joe, would never make for yourself, while still saying that other individuals should be able to make that decision for themselves.
All right. Yeah. All right. Have a nice day, Dean.
You as well. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next
Yeah.
guest.
I'm gonna go
Everyone,
up like 15.
what's up? Did he say he was 15? Tell me why the 15-year-old, dude. Tell me why the 15-year-old was like the most calm, cool, and collected and like level-headed guest I've had on my live in like the last 3 days.